I mean, the fact alone that the show has its own theme song is pretty goddamn badass, if you ask me. So, uh, there's a lot I want to get to, so let's go ahead and start with our uh, bowl. Cheers! Alright, so there's a song, I think it's sang by Etta James, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. Um, there's a beautiful song that says, "What a difference a day makes." And man, has this day made a difference in my life. Um, to start off with, we had an actually pretty decent show yesterday. I was really happy with. I was really happy with some of the feedback. Today's episode, I managed to send tons of invites and all sorts of shit because I realized I've never once really even tried to uh, give this show some publicity or anything, you know. I don't pay for any of that disingenuous bullshit where you pay for fandom and all that crap. It's just not my style. Um, don't get me wrong, I will do that. You know, I put money behind my music, you know, for digital marketing and stuff like that. I will do that, sure, no problem. But that's because that's money right there. That comes back to me. I do this show absolutely because I want to, and I get a lot of slack. I get a lot of shit for it. So I get a lot of slack for it, and um, I always tell them the same thing. If you do not like the program, just don't watch it. There's plenty of people out there that feel just like you, and there's plenty of people out there that feel, somewhat like me. And the fact that people love to generalize and make it seem like their taste is the taste, and we're all subject to what they like, and you know uh, it's just a very self-obsessed way of looking at things. um, so this show gets a lot of shit for the most random dumb shit. It helps me understand that most people are not really watching the show. They really just want to hate me, and that's fine. I mean, there's a difference between being disliked and then there's being fucking hated, and I'm used to the hate. So I really wanted to get into a few different subjects with the next 45 minutes, 30 minutes. Um, I really want to start off by saying an RIP, rest in peace, to a really fabulous, awesome, caring, loving man I have known for. I mean, I don't know him, but I have. This guy's been in my life for, I want to say, about 20 years, maybe 18 years. His name is Salim Kamo, and he was clerk, the head clerk. He had this huge crush on my mom, and I always thought it was adorable. Um, he would often give my mom like a free beer or something because, he was a single, grandpa that, never hurt a fly. He never bothered anyone. And his store is called J&K Liquors, and it's right down the block from me over on Rosemont and Western. This man was in a botched robbery. I don't know if he tried to not give the money, or maybe he just didn't do it fast enough, or maybe the kid just freaked out, but was shot in the head immediately upon being robbed. And he was sent to St. Francis Medical Center, um, which is, probably about a 8-minute drive, and he did not survive. Uh, my prayers, if you can call it, my thoughts go out to the family. I'm very sorry. This guy was not just a store clerk or a store owner. This man was he was a part of our society. Everybody knew this guy, and you couldn't live out here and not know this guy. It's one of those things that, when it happened, I was really hoping. I mean, you never want to hope anyone passes, but you kind of do hope that it's not the person that you know. But Salim, who I always called Sal, had worked at J&K Liquors for years. Like I said, I had seen him around for at least 15, 16 years. Never thought a day would come. Yeah, definitely 20 years. Never thought a day would come where two idiots or one idiot comes in to rob the place, which it wasn't the type of liquor store you would try to just come by and rob, because 9 times out of 10 the place was packed, or at least has a lot of stragglers and a lot of guys that just linger and just chill around the area, and they just talk to Sal. They go outside, smoke a cigarette, drink, and then they come back out. And so the fact that he is no longer with us is not only sad, but it just it's made my it's honestly made my community and my block just that much smaller. And I honestly feel like my world's a little smaller without him. But not just that, but I think that the people in the neighborhood are definitely going to feel this, because he was a pillar of our society. He definitely knew everyone. He wasn't the type of guy that would watch you go out to the back and get a bag of chips or something. He was the kind of guy that would let you owe him $2. He would give you credit if you needed it. He did not deserve to go out the way he did, and I really can't believe this has happened. I'm shocked. We're all shocked in this neighborhood, but especially those that knew him. There was a bar nearby called Smiling Jim's, still there. Smiling Tooth Jim's, and if you hung out, you usually probably went to that bar. If you went to that bar, you usually went to that liquor store. And again, Sal was a big part of this community. He will be very missed, and there's no joke for that. Nothing. There's really nothing else to say. I love the guy, and I hope they have some sort of wake that I can attend to, because he was a very peaceful man, and he didn't deserve any of this. And if there's a heaven, I really hope there's a VIP section that's just for that guy. People like that guy. Because if there was a VIP section in heaven, it would definitely be for people like that. Wow. So yeah, that was my, well, it's like a 10-minute eulogy. Just again just to finally say, rest in peace, Sal. And I wish your family nothing but the best. I know you were a great grandfather, and the world is a lot less cool without you. So we will feel that. Next on the Chopping Black, we have another person who actually happened before this subject, and I've talked about it a couple times. We have a person, a woman. She's went by the name of Frances Walker. We had seen her many times in the Aldi grocery store that is on California and Granville. This woman, again, one of those types of people that would say hi to you, barely know you off the block, but would mention those little things. Oh, hey, I know you from this. And I believe I've carried her grocery store card before. And basically what happened was she was another person that was also known for her kindness, and she was dismembered by her own apartment tenant, who actually was close to being caught years before this. Another landlord had put her away for a while, and they actually considered her not guilty and let her go. I don't know why anyone would do that. She was clearly, just a Muslim woman that was very devout to her religion, but she had this look of absolute evil. And there's people that you can tell right off the bat that they're evil. And if anybody can jump in the chat, I'm sure you've been in a situation where you saw someone and their eyes just gave you a story that you did not want to hear. And we all like to pretend that we are those kinds of people, but when we meet them, we know who they are, because they have a very strange sense, or a very empty gaze, and you can fucking see that their gears are not turning. And in most cases, I like to say, I can see your gears turning. Like if I watch a musician, if I'm teaching someone music and I'm watching them play a guitar, and they're relatively new to it, I usually can see their gears turning. I can see their thought processes. And then there's people that are so beyond the fray that they don't have anything that connects you to them, or connects themselves to you, because there's no humanity behind those eyes. Now, people can say that it's not that easy to tell, and in some cases it's not. You have guys like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer, who usually could use some sort of suave way of doing it. Richard Ramirez, look at Richard Ramirez. This guy had people in line wanting to marry the guy while he was in jail. And it is a crazy. It's just a crazy world that not only that we live in, but that we are exacerbating. We're making it worse. We're not helping. And with the excuse me, with the advancing in mental health and the understanding of mental health, I just want to believe that there's got to be a way where we can uh, not necessarily pinpoint, who's the psycho, who's not, but there has to be another way where the mental health and the emotions of people should be red flagging, and you should be able to see these kinds of things. I see that we lost all of our viewers, and that tends to happen. Again, that's fine. I guess they don't have any care for the subject. That's fine. I don't. Um, Honestly, these subjects have fascinated me, and obviously I'm alone in that. But I just think that when you've lived in a certain neighborhood your whole fucking life, and you expect certain things from your neighborhood. You know your neighborhood is capable of A or B or C, but um, yeah, even if I lived in a neighborhood and I find out there's a murder there or a death there, I get very excited. I have a morbid curiosity, so of course I'm going to do that. Uh, and yeah, it was pretty messed up. So I think we only got a couple more things to talk about here. Um, I had spoken to you guys the other day about the big argument going on with me and not necessarily my model friend, but the people that follow her, as well as the other actresses or other models, really let me have it again because I made a simple observation. And so, women today, in my opinion, are becoming just as toxic as any masculinity has ever been. Um, they're just as bad as anyone else nowadays. Where even the more risque kind of models, they just can't handle the simplest of criticisms, or even if it's not a criticism, it's just an empty observation. They just will not deal with it, and it doesn't matter if you insulted them or not. They take it as an insult when it's an observation. And my entire point last time was that, it wasn't a matter of the actual model, it was a matter of the direction that the model had decided, or that the director decided to use the model for. And I just thought that was a very big waste of. It's just a wasted opportunity, because if you have these beautiful women, you think you're going to want to show all of them and show them in the best way, best light, and best form possible. And so, as I mentioned that observation, And I told you I'd been completely shit on for what I said. Um, it was just, I don't know, probably one of the most hypocritical things I've ever seen. Mainly because it's like, A, when you're putting yourself out there, as I have, and as I had as a youngster, and how I did, and when I did certain things that I was not proud of, doing certain films that I'm not necessarily proud of. I don't regret doing it, but I'm not in a place in my mind where I regret what I did. It was simply a way to make money. It was simply a way to get by. And I'm not going to apologize for stooping so low when that is, A, who are you to judge what's low? And B, um, you know, uh, I don't know how else to put it. Just, I'm not going to apologize for signing something when I'm hungry and have, no other real finances, and these things offer you big cash up front kind of deals. Not to mention, the selfish masculine, the selfish male point of view, and that most guys have, and that's just you know, uh, being proud of getting laid. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that, yeah, of course, movies today, or movies that were famous in the early 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, these are movies that used to be on the bullying side, but it's it's just strange. It's like, so I can understand the fact that, yeah, these things would never be famous today, but that doesn't mean to go crap on everything, and that also doesn't mean that we don't have those types of thoughts. I mean, men want to have sex. That's just how it is, Now, yeah, there's a plenty of movies that have aged poorly. Like if you watch, personally, I always thought Porky's was not a good movie. It was just like a bunch of dorks jerking off to it. It was a circle jerk to me. And the movie, um, Mannequin, or Blinded by Science. There's a lot to choose from in the 80s, and you know, even the scene in Animal House where she gets put in the cart, the shopping cart, and Pinto runs away. I mean, you have to remember, this girl, lied to him until they had sex, and then said that she was 13 or 14, which nowadays would, I mean, that movie would have been boycotted. Nobody would have watched that today. And so, upon watching this little commercial and making the little comment I did, what I want to do is kind of show you guys something, uh, that I found really strange. Um, it's one of the arguments that I was put into, and I really really didn't understand. This is the whole argument thing that I was telling you guys about, but um, what I want to do is I wanted to show you the whole art, the whole thing about it, like why it was exactly so out of line that in my opinion, it was just completely unnecessary, and so maybe I can find it. I don't know. So here we go. All right. So remember, all I had said was the whole thing about being underutilized. Now, when you read the replies on it, you were seeing that the person that I was talking to was not upset about it, because it was not a dig at her; it was a dig at the direction. But hearing someone fetch me a penis guillotine, so talking about castrating me. The most random, meaningless comment I have ever seen. That's a great one right there, because if it was so meaningless and meant nothing, then why are you writing a 3 paragraph diatribe against it, just badgering me for no reason? Again, when something is meaningless, it means it has no meaning. So it was a meaningless observation. And then one of the next things here is talking about, of course, the toxic masculinity, and it's a 14-second clip. What is your problem? And again, when you're going through all this stuff and you're reading all this stuff, it's insane, because if it's so meaningless, why are you giving it meaning? It doesn't. You completely proved yourself wrong in your own argument. Now, I would love to put this up on the side of the screen and show you guys what I'm talking about. However, I really respect the person that that this happened with. Well, not with, but it happened on the comment board. And I care about this person. The actual model that I meant to be talking to, I care very much about her, because I was even a babysitter for her at one point. And yeah, I kind of felt a little not in. I mean, of course, I was a little insulted, but what also really got me even more offended, or not offended, but just angry with it, was the fact that not a single person tried to play a devil's advocate or tried to ask, what did you mean by that? I have been guilty for doing the same thing once, but I didn't shout at anyone. I just deleted a message and or a comment. That is very different from just deciding to dogpile someone. And it's actually made me change my own actions in the future, not because of the ridiculous argument, but the fact that I had gone on, I believe I went on to Ticketmaster because I wanted to get tickets to see the new Blink 182 concert that's going to be in Chicago at the United Center, and I really wanted to see that. So, as I was planning on seeing that, I wanted to check out the ticket prices and such. And on the tour announcement that's on Facebook, it actually said something along the lines of, you know, the tickets are going to be available for Chicago on this certain date. So when I look at the comments, one of them had stated the opinion that the band itself, or the Blink 182 reunion tour, should be headlined not by Blink 182 but Rise Against. And of course, it's a very stupid comment. It's a Blink reunion tour. Why the hell would anyone headline it besides Blink 182? But obviously, that was, it was obviously something stupid, and, it shouldn't have been sent. It's one of those comments you definitely shouldn't have sent. You should have just erased it. Because the guy probably knew he was going to get flack for it. But that's not the case. What happened, or what had happened, was the kid that said that ended up getting, he has his comment there, and mine was starting to type up saying, what the hell are you talking about? It's a Blink-182 reunion tour. Why the fuck would some band like Rise Against headline it when they're really only famous in their hometown, which is Chicago? Most people, and I met the guy from Rise Against. I've actually talked to him on 2 different occasions, and the guy never remembers me, and that's totally fine. He meets thousands of people a day, I'm sure. That's not what bothered me. What bothered me was his sense of the typical "I'm famous, you're not," shit on my own fans kind of attitude. So he does that, and then shortly after I meet him again at a tattoo shop, I was scouting for a tattoo artist to help me get something done, which is still an idea I wanted to do. I changed my mind, and originally was going to go with the idea, but I changed my mind, and I ended up doing this from a guy named Vincent Ace, and he's on Facebook. He does at-home tattoos, and he's pretty fast. He's wicked professional, and he's a flat rate kind of guy. He doesn't try to screw you on the price. Now, this right here was a kind of a dare to get these 2 letters on me. And the point of getting these 2 letters was entirely a joke that I took way too serious, and I was so committed to this. And I thought my brother was also just as committed as I was to this. So, like an idiot, I went out and, we went out together and got and actually got the tattoos. And silly me for thinking that anyone else would take a joke like that and take it seriously like I did. And unfortunately, I did. So it was kind of funny. It was funny to realize that he had been joking, and for a second get a little pissed off that I put my friend's initials on my arm, which is now going to be on there forever. And he changed his mind at the last minute and got his daughter's name, thinking that I wouldn't go through with it. When it turns out I'm the only one that actually did go through with it. So, my point is that, when I got the tattoo, it cost a lot of money. It actually cost, I think, $150 to get two letters, at the tattoo factory. And it was my first tattoo, so of course I was so green that they were willing to do that. They were willing to fuck me over. And, when you go out and you get something done, you have to remember that tattoos can be haggled. There's a reason why there's no price tag on a tattoo. It's because you can usually fight the price down, or at least talk it down. And so later on, I had gotten this one. I had gotten the cold tattoo from a friend of mine, Christine Santiago, and the majority of it was her, but I think the shading and the darkening was done at Bellissima Inc., which used to be in Chicago, and it's run by a friend of mine, Lexi Rivas, who is going to be, hopefully we can get her on the show here, but it's going to be a interview with her that I want to get, and she is now, I think, in Vegas doing what she loves to do. She's doing much better out there, and I think that's because Chicago has far too many options. And although your friend may not be the best artist, if you're getting something simple, go to your friend that's learning how to do tattoos, because it's just makes more sense and you pay way less. Like, I even got this, which is a symbol for the band Play Reveal, which was started by a couple friends of mine, and I was the last one to join, and we were a band for like 10 years, and it was a religious experience for me, and it changed who I was pretty much from that moment, or from those years on. A lot of who I am now is because of them. They managed to bring out a person that I didn't know existed, and that was me. And it was a very, very spiritual thing. And so, after all this shit, all these different projects and stuff, photo shoots, interviews, phone interviews, radio shit, radio interviews, uh, to television, of course, the internet, and then, of course, live on stage. There's a lot you gotta be, and one of those things is you gotta have some really thick skin. And I know I talked about this before, but I mean, I don't blame the model that I not made fun of, but that I observed. Um, I kind of understand because criticism sucks, and it's the people that do um, anything in entertainment with the worst ones that take criticism. Like I myself am bad at criticism. If you mention like, oh, we really like your song, it's just this part right away my blood boils. So I can totally understand that. And so the final thing we wanted to talk about. You know what? I really wanted to get into this situation that had taken place in a Target with me and a friend named Scott. Um, he and I had shared a very unpleasant situation. And rather than blaming Target or putting the dude on blast, I don't even know the fucking guy's name to do such a thing. So what I'm just gonna do is just end this by saying, you know what? There's a time and a place for everything, and if you are a 60-year-old, maybe 55, I don't know. If you're an old dude working at Target, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're an old dude working at Target, harassing or shouting at customers, that there is something wrong with that. If you pick any customer over another customer, there's something wrong with that. Now, at this situation, a friend of mine, like I said, we're having a conversation. This man had no reason to even bother on eavesdropping on us. And rather than just eavesdrop, he then tried to claim that our cursing was out of line and that we were disrespectful of the children in the building. There were no children in the building except for one child who was so far away from me, there was no way that he was listening to our conversation. Now, in the front of the service clerk aisle, or at least the counter and the register, is very far from the place that Scott and I were having a conversation. And so, you're over here, we're over here at the self checkout, and we're not arguing. And I said the word shit because we were talking about Sonic, and I remember my first experience at a Sonic was not pleasant. I got a chili dog with jack shit in it Like, there was maybe 2 spoonfuls of chili, and I felt very ripped off. So, being at about this volume level, this guy decides to say something. And what was funny was that the kid didn't even hear it, neither did the mom. And this guy even mentioned calling the police. Now, what pissed me the fuck off is that if you're going to censor somebody, it shouldn't be somebody that you had to eavesdrop on just to hear it. Okay? I can totally understand if we were shouting, being obnoxious, and being loud. We were absolutely not. And I am not one to give a fuck about my language nor how loud I curse. And I am usually the ones to tell my friends, hey, hey, there's kids walking by, give it a second. Because when you're outside, you have what's called outdoor voice. Now, I don't know about this boomer, but where I come from and what I learned as a child is you have indoor voices and you have outdoor voices. And your outdoor voice is always louder than your indoor voice. So, I know for a fact that I was not being loud, especially in a Target. And so, my point is, if you are going to be the bitch that is going to say something stupid like that, you have to have the balls to at least stand your ground and say what you just said again. Because if I turn around and say, because my friend Scott turned around and he has a very soft voice, and even he turned around saying, what the fuck who the fuck are you talking to? The fact that this total fucking coward put his head down, didn't say shit. I believe one of the other workers who knows that I'm a regular at the store even said something along the lines of, why are you, freaking out at my regular, when she didn't even hear what I said, because I was speaking in a normal tone and normal level. So, again, if you're going to be the bitch that has something to say to me, have the balls to pick up your fucking chin and say it again with the same conviction and tell me again what did you want me to do? Because to back off the way that he did showed that you're a fucking coward, and you wanted to say something because you thought that little name tag gave you some fucking authority, which it does not. Okay, and maybe it does for your average customer, but to me, you're just an asshole fucking loser. And I only say this because you're a 60-year-old man working at Walmart shouting like you have authority. That's what makes you a loser. And so I don't need some fucking overpeaked asswipe telling me what to do when, again, you had to eavesdrop on me just to hear me. Alright? So that's for you and the horse you rode in on. And that's just who I am. I don't take shit from anybody, and maybe that's just how I was raised. Maybe that's just how I was born. Maybe there's just a bone in my body that just does not know how to take shit from people. Wow, that was fun. But yeah. I really don't. I don't have that bone. I don't have that bone. I never did have that bone in my body. So, watch your fucking mouth when you're talking to another grown man. And if you're going to tell a grown man what to do, you better fucking just stand up, have the balls to say it again. I might respect you for it, alright? And if I kick your ass, or anybody kicks your ass for saying something stupid, have the balls and have the, I don't know, have the cojones to get up and at least stand your ground and still say, well, I still think that guy was an asshole. You don't have to win every fight to be a badass. You don't have to fucking win every fight to be respected. Just know that if you have a stance, you stick with it, okay? And I'm one of those guys that you can kick my fucking ass all you want, I'm still gonna talk shit the whole time, alright? So now that I've got my blood boiling again, remembering this total douchebag, it reminds me of a Will Smith quote that I will never ever let go of because I love with a passion. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Alright? So shut the fuck up, ring the groceries, mind your business. Alright? And as for the toxic femininity problem that we seem to be having, fuck you too, alright? That's for you too. Alright? We gotta stop with this us versus them kind of attitude. I like to think that we're all the same. If you like to draw that line so much, that's for you and your line, alright? If you know anybody struggling with the any kind of mental problem, mental health issue, please give us a message over at uselessagentmusic@gmail.com. We're always happy to hear from you guys. And yeah, we're always happy to listen. All right, so thanks a lot for honestly, thanks for giving us a shot. Thanks for watching the show. As always, we love you. Please take care of one another, and we will
Useless Agent is on your TV, laptop, or your PC, whatever you call it. Useless Agent is on